Alright everyone, welcome to another Modern stream. Today is Friday and it's been a minute, but we are going back to Know Thy Enemy. And today we're going to probably be looking at Modern's #1 enemy right now. Mardu Shadow. This deck took the Modern Showcase in the hands of Mr. Doomwake the Beast. And this deck is kind of pretty sweet. Personally, I am a big fan of Shadow strategies. I think that they have an insane amount of plays to them, and they are very powerful. Particularly this one right here. So what we have is an aggressive shell, and I cannot stress the importance of a Monastery Swift Spear and Bomad Courier in this list. Both of these cards look very impressive. It is extremely important to make sure that you're pushing damage in the early game because of the brand new printing from Zendikar Rising, which is the Scourge of the Skyclaves. For whatever reason, my Zoom thingy is not working. There we go. So the Scourge of the Skyclaves. This card, which I have seen, it has been very, very impressive. It's 2 mana, XX, and the kicker cost is kind of flavor text, but the real clause is its power and toughness are equal to 20 minus the highest life total amongst players. So this card is very, very powerful because if you are pushing through damage thanks to Swift Spear, if your opponent is shocking with shock lance and stuff, and then you can drop this on turn 2 as, even if it's just as a 1/1 or a 2/2, on your following turn you can Lightning Bolt and like Mutagenic Growth and stuff, and then the Scourge can grow really, really quickly. Maybe as big as something like a 5/5 by turn 2, and of course, as you are beating down, it keeps growing higher and higher. And the interaction with Battle Rage is actually nothing to scoff at, because if you are at a low enough life total that you can basically grow this guy freely, then the first strike damage is going to deal damage to your opponent, which will grow the Scourge, and then regular damage will happen, and you will just completely demolish your opponent with Scourge. Like, this is basically game over under most scenarios. Of course, we're beating ourselves down with Death Shadow. One really interesting addition is Agadim's Awakening, which is basically in the deck as a basic swamp that just comes into play and domes you for 3, which I think it's pretty hilarious, but like it actually makes a lot of sense. There's like, of course, like you can cast it and get back a shadow or something, but I think I've never actually seen this card cast. But just as a swamp that just attacks you for 3, like it just bolts you, it's great. This is of course a Lurus deck. All of our permanents are 2 converted mana costs or less, so works really, really well here. Some synergy. We have some Thought Seizes as forms of hand disruption. You're gonna know that we don't have Inquisition of Kozilek. This deck is very, very much an aggressive deck. Like, it's not so much, even though it can grind, it's not so much as a mid-range deck as some other forms of Shadow that we have seen. So we have nothing like Stubborn Denial or like Inquisition is not that. Is not the game plan. We're trying to beat down. Like, we're trying to get our opponents dead as quickly as possible and make sure that we can drop shadows on turn 2 and Scourges as reliably as possible. So Thoughtseize helps your shadow plan, but Inquisition doesn't, so we're just not even playing that card at all. Seal of Fire, of course, and Bubble are here mostly because of the Lurus synergy, though of course you're getting some extra value with Monastery Swift Spear. That's pretty much all that it is to the main deck. The sideboard is the real innovation that Doomwake did, which was to splash white. The reason is for Path to Exile for the mirror match, of course, and then for Wear Tear, which is great against the game plan that the combo decks have against you. So like Belcher and Upsol spells, those decks' game plan include Leyline of Sanctity. So Wear Tear is a fine answer to Leyline of Sanity, and potentially it's even a 2-for-1 if your opponent like drops a Belcher or a Mana Rock or something like that. And yeah, Soul Guide Lantern against the graveyard strategies. Oh, sweet, Doomwake, you're here. Sweet, so you can help me out. Remember when I helped you out when you play Amulet? Awesome, now it's your time to pay back, my friend. Do you have a deluxe from yesterday's Reclaimer? Yeah. yeah, it should be in my stream decker. Is that you singing in the intro? No, it's not me singing. It's my friend Dave singing. It's me playing drums. That is a band that we had when we were back in school. This hand is fucking sick, right? Turn 1 Bomat, ping you for 1, drop a Scourge on 2, and then just like start. Yeah, this card look insane, so I'm just gonna keep. This deck needs more Titans. I cannot disagree with that. Have I broken it yet, Doomwick? I think I just broke it here, right? Bomat Core giving card advantage in this deck is just so great. Oh, playing against Tron. Well, I am 100% dropping a good old Scourge on 2. Let's go. Since I 2/2 this turn, it's gonna be bigger. Let's say that it's gonna be bigger by the end of this turn. So we have a couple of options here. We can swing Assist and play another Scourge. So if we swing Assist, we deal 3 damage, opponent goes down to 15, and we play a second Scourge. Then both of them are going to be 5/5s. Next turn, we can bolt. Yeah, I think that's the line, right? I guess play Bubble, of course. But this means that we can beat, like, if my opponent has, like, a Karn Liberator or something. Like, we could maximize damage this turn, obviously, by bolting my opponent. But the problem with that is that if they have a Karn Liberated, that actually puts us in a rough spot, because we are not going to have a threat anymore. And yeah, because they cannot Oblivion Stone this turn, so. Is it me or has just been an uptick in Tron lately? It could be possible, honestly. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't seem particularly good against. Ugh. That's a problem. For multiple reasons. Do we have outs to turn to game 1 in Snare and Bridge? Opponent has exactly 5 cards in hand. Opponent has exactly 5 cards in hand. Oh, what a delight. What an absolute delight. That's just beautiful. This is beautiful. So there's an Ugin the Ineffable here. So I think that we're playing against Eldrazi Tron. We saw this off of the bubble. So because it's an Ugin, I think that we're very much against Eldrazi Tron. So I think I like these cards. And that's kind of what I don't think that we should be doing the Cleansing Wildfire thing. Seize them. Yeah, right? I like some paths. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just need to like rethink my sideboarding. Usually, the decks that I play, I just don't really respect Eldrazi Tron's beatdown plan, so I just don't bring in removal. But maybe with this deck, we actually care about the 4/4s and the 5/5s, so it makes sense. And what would you cut? Mutagenics? I feel like Mutagenic could actually be pretty important in the matchup to spit out an early Shadow and to attack through Thought Knots. But I don't know if this is more important than this. No wildfires. We think that my opponent is on a Tron. Oh, Cat Seal. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Do we like this? This seems pretty good to me. This seems like a good matchup. Well, they have Chalice. So if they go turn to Chalice... This seems like a keep to me. So we get to... Yeah, we can bold ourselves if we need to. And we get to Thoughtseize away a Chalice. We also get our sweet ass value here. So the tech, of course, is you bubble yourself, you see what's on top, so there's a swamp on top, which I obviously don't want to draw. So we're gonna use Smart Flats to shuffle it away. And now we Thoughtseize. Wait, they're playing Ugin? What? Oh shit. They're playing the green Tron with Ugin the Ineffable? What the... Well, for game 3 we're gonna sideboard very differently. We're gonna sideboard a lot differently for game 3, let me tell you. I think I'm gonna take the Ugin. The baby Ugin. And we're gonna hope that this Shadow can get there fast enough. Because we're not gonna be erasing their Tron. But at least they can't do anything on turn 3. As far as we know, at least. Yeah, we're very poorly sideboarded. We are very, very poorly sideboarded. Just play this to shock ourselves. Look at how relevant shocking ourselves is here. Able to drop a 1/1 Shadow. Green Tron plays 2 baby Ugin now. Yeah, but not only that, but it's also like they are playing Karn the Great Creator, so they're playing like a low curve Tron, I guess, of sorts. Bolt myself, of course. Which honestly I was thinking of doing anyway, so it's great that my opponent just showed me their hand. They're drawing Karn Liberated. So there's like, we need to do exactly... Well, that doesn't count. We're in trouble now. These have not been particularly great draws. Gonna get Sacred Foundry. And, well, we can't bolt ourselves, obviously, because we just died to Ugin. Should we bolt them? I guess it doesn't change the thing, so we're gonna see what happens here. The problem is that we cannot haste, right? So, also my opponent can just last zone me here. There's a Spirit Dragon, maybe -1. Doesn't take the Bowmat though. How do we win here? I think we don't, right? But if I bolt their Ugin, what do I need to find off the top to win? Scourge? Bolt kills their Karn next turn? Yeah. We don't know our opponent is a he, so I always encourage chat to use the them pronoun. I'm trying to think. So if I bolt them, their Ugin, Then next turn we can play our land. We go down to 4. We crack Bomat, mostly because we have to. And we draw 2. Ugin's gonna be at 2. Oh no, friend, not you too. What do you mean? And our final 12. Thank you for follow. I don't think you have a winning line that bolts this Ugin. I don't have a winning line that doesn't bolt this Ugin. Right? Then you have better odds to try to burn them out somehow with the hasty creatures and a bunch of bolts. The problem is this Ugin kills me, right? I'm trying to envision what needs to happen for me to win. They have Carnal Liberated. They also have Blast Zone, so like I cannot hope to get there with hasty creatures. That is, if there were no Blast Zone, I could see going face. But there's a Blast Zone, so like Swift Spear and more Romance don't help me. I think we have to bolt Ugin. That sucks. Still have that next turn, but I don't have mana, which is the problem. And I need to draw a card here. So, well, I guess I attack them because my only way of answering this Ugin is with a Lightning Bolt. That doesn't do it. All right. Okay, so now that we know they're playing against Green Tron, sideboard is gonna look a lot different. Like a lot different. Probably don't want Pats. We probably don't want Dismember. We might still want these though. Pushers are definitely staying out. I think Bolt needs to stay in, but only because of like the necessity to have things to trigger prowess and stuff like that. Same thing with Digital Growth. Maybe we don't want that many wear tears. How do we beat Wormcoil Engine? You don't like command? Okay, I'm into for that. I usually bring in 2 tier. Okay, so we're bringing those in. And bring it to path. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about specifically Wormcoil Engine, which can be a problem. They also have Thruktusks, but Thruktusks are a lot easier to deal with, and they are a lot smaller. And they don't Death Touch, so. Okay, what do we got? Am I just really lucky, or do these hands always look just perfect? Yeah, this hand is like fucking ridiculous, right? This hand is like completely busted, right? Is this deck insane or what? Sequencing is gonna be interesting. I think we just play Swift Spear on 1, right? We just Swift Spear plus Bobble. So Swift Spear, Bobble, swing for 2. So we're gonna see what they do here. And we can Thoughtseize plus Shadow on 2. Like, this is just ridiculous. Yeah, Steering's on top. Because, like, we don't need to Wildfire just yet. That is interesting. I think I'm still going to go for the Shadow, right? I guess it's not a clear cut. I am kind of interested in Thoughtseizing them this turn, though. That's actually smart. Yeah, the only problem that I have with this play is that they showed me spatial contortion last turn. So if I drop the Scourge right now, my opponent is going to be able to contortion it, which I'm not particularly excited about. Because that would be a really good exchange for them. Thoughtseize allows me to take a peek, and it swings for more. If we Thoughtseize and see contortion, we kind of have to take it. Yeah, but we have a shadow on board, right? We have a shadow on board while doing that. And then it sets up a Scourge for next turn that's going to be big enough. So I think I actually like that better. Shadow Master. Dead Shadow Master, clearly professional shadow player. They have steerings though, which really sucks. I think I'm going to take the contortion anyway. And we're just going to hope that we can keep them off Worm Coil thanks to like wildfires and shit. Is that crazy? Does that make sense? No, it does. No, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think we just take the worm. Yeah, I think we actually take the worm. Because, like, once they use one contortion, the other one is not going to do anything. So yeah, so let's take the worm here. Let's play a 1/1 shadow. Let's serve. Because we know they're drawing steerings. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that we're killing them quickly enough, unfortunately. So there's a tower. My opponent is a professional. So, but that was kind of a sick draw. So now we're going to get to Scourge, like play a real big Scourge. We could also just play around their in-hand contortion. So this is their hand right now. We can hope that they don't find exactly Wormcoil Engine and we can use Wildfire to slow them down. Now the question, do we want to push through 4 damage to make this guy bigger? Or do we want to... I think that we want to push through damage, right? Man, this deck does have a lot of play. Now that I'm playing it right now, there's a lot of levels to this. I think we want to... Yeah, I'm going to gamble this turn and I'm going to Wildfire next one. But I think I want to mutagenic here to make sure that the Scourge is as big as possible so that we can hopefully set up a lethal attack for next turn. Yeah, so my thought process was that I could have played around the contortion, right? They can find exactly Wormcoil, but at this point, like, Karn doesn't matter anymore, right? I guess that Karn... No, still doesn't matter. That Karn still doesn't matter. Because they only have 2 mana. They can steal Contortion. Walking Ballista. That's actually kind of annoying. So that's a blocker. We got a Wildfires here. They didn't fetch for anything, so we just have to pick one. And we probably have to send both at Karn, which is really good for my opponent. But we kind of have to anyway. This is just a gamble, so I'm going to go for one of the 2 mana ones. So I'm going to go for that one. Like, they didn't search for any one of these, so... We're gonna have to send both at Karn. Land would be great. Bolt. The problem is that we don't have an answer to Bridge. And Bridge actually does lock out my Scourges. So we have to just like attack the Karn there. Tron players, man. What a delight. What a fucking delight. Isn't it? What a fucking delight. We might lethal them here, though. No! Stupid mana. Think about the follow. So we attack them. We don't know either of their cards. Because we knew about the forest and they played it and they also used their contortion. Yeah, exactly. So I think that we attack. We start the turn by attacking them. So they need to block. If they don't block, we win. They do block. So let's see if they are going to ping me. Now we're going to bolt the card and I'm going to Thoughtseize them. Yep. We have an easy win, obviously. If our mana had cooperated a little bit better, but... Okay, so they have nothing. So now they have exactly one draw step to kill me, basically. And they didn't whiff. So now we time walk ourselves. Hope that our opponent doesn't kill us. Just play an expedition map or something. Just whiff. Just whiff for 2 turns. We need them to whiff for 2 turns. That's 1 turn. Drum roll. Actually, is that just exactly lethal? Is that exactly lethal? Oh my god, this deck is a delight. This deck is a fucking delight. Thank you very much. Yes, I would like to trample for 2. Yes, I would like to deal double strike damage. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, this is great. No, it wasn't more than that. It was exactly lethal. Never find a 3rd land. Destroy any land at random. Opponent immediately draws the Tron piece that I destroyed. This isn't money travel? No, it isn't. Although Scourge is kind of expensive. This is a mulligan, right? Like, this is just too many lands. This hand sounds a lot better. And I guess I'm gonna bottom the Cling. If my opponent's playing Dredge or something. Well, probably if they're playing Dredge, Cling is not gonna be enough to save us anyway. That's what you've been doing to people along? Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty dirty. Am I going to Thoughtseize myself? To bubble myself? Or am I going to bubble them is the question. I think I want to bubble them. Self-bubble? Because I feel like I kind of want more info, right? Although I guess that we probably don't want to find a land here. So I guess that self-bubbling is better. Second Thoughtseize. I think I like Second Thoughtseize. I think I actually do like second Thoughtseize, so... Saddest timeline. This is kind of fine though, right? This matchup is easy. It sounds like it, right? So we take the Bedlam or the Crash Through. We don't take the Kiln Fiend for sure, and we don't take the Lava Dart. So right now they're gonna be at 16. We have a second Thoughtseize on the top. Yeah, I think because we have the second Thoughtseize, we take the Crash Through here, so we don't give them a redraw. And then we Bedlam them. So now we Thoughtseize again. We Bedlam. We fetch Shock, right? And drop a Shadow? Or do we just wait? Yeah, I think they're mono red. This is interesting, right? Because I kind of don't want my Shadow to die to a Lightning Bolt off the top or to another Lava Dart. But then we use Lurrus to take over. Yeah, I'm thinking that Crypt Pass might be the line. That's actually what I'm thinking about. And if they play a Kiln Fiend, I just bolt it, and it uses my mana more efficiently. Unless my opponent wants to next level me and they don't play the Kiln Fiend, in which case we're fine with that. Okay. So we play a land, we Shadow, we Seal of Fire. I feel like I want to just main phase Fetch Shock now. Go to 9. Play around my opponent, just like bolting in response or something, you know? Lava Dart face. So they're gonna draw 2 here. Soulscar Mage and Mutagenic. I kind of like just putting Lurrus in hand. Is that crazy? And no attack. Alternatively, we can Seal of Fire. They use Mutagenic Growth. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. they ping me. So now my shadow is bigger, and they're down to land. And they are farther away from Reveler. And they don't have an enabler for light at this stage. I don't know if that was the correct line, opponent. I think I'm just gonna put lures in hand now. And just not attack. And we're gonna attack next turn when it's safe. Okay, I mean that's the best card that they could have, so that's good for them for sure. But they have one card left in hand. I am blocking here. We force the action. We force them to do something. What are you doing, opponent? Why would you do that? that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. So we like path here for sure. That's even finding a bolt in a 2-3 go. And I love like they were like in the right mindset, right? Like they were like it made sense what they did. Like they wanted to attack, they wanted to make me sacrifice the shadow, because like that's their best avenue at winning. But yeah, it was kind of funny how that worked out. 3 path, 1k command, 4/4 Bomat. Oh, that's right, Bomat sucks. We're playing Bomat in this matchup. So I guess that we keep the Cling in. How afraid are we of Blood Moon, Doomwake? The key for this matchup is to be a professional and not naturally draw your Bomats in game 1, I think. Cling is good to see some Reveler math. Okay, sweet. How do we feel about Wear Tear? I guess we don't like it, right? If our opponent's game plan is to Blood Moon us, that seems really slow. Three lands, a shadow, and a shit ton of removal. I think I like this hand. Swift Spear. I think, oof, interesting. I think we main phase Blood Crypt, bolt this thing. Yay me for figuring out what the best line was there. Yep. So Sphere would have been potentially problematic. Yeah. This is like the best. Whenever you have a Prowess opponent and they're just like cycling Crash through, it feels so good. We dismember this, drop a shadow. I kind of want to do this right now because of 2 reasons. Number 1 is mutagenic growth and lava dart. So I don't want my opponent to be pinging my shadow and making it smaller because of the Soul Scar Mage's effect. And the other reason for wanting that, it's because I don't want my opponent to be able to get value from light up the stage. Yeah, go to 9 seems good. So this member here. And Fetch Shock. I guess we get a Godless Shrine, right? Because we did bring in Path to Exiles. And they could have like triple Lightning Bolt, but it's probably fine. Nice. The problem with this is if they actually have a Reveler in hand, this might be a problem. No attacks, opponent. Coward. I kind of want to fetch shop. Is that too greedy? Should it just like go get a basic swamp? I definitely want to Swift Spear attack. Thinking this is a much easier matchup for this deck than Bird. No, that's like traditionally how it's been with Shadow decks because removal is just so much better against this deck than it is against Burn. I think I'm actually gonna be a coward. I think I'm gonna go fetch for a basic. I think I'm probably gonna be clinging something. They just do nothing. They have 3 cards in hand. So the only issue that I have with not clinging here is that I'm missing a point, and also they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can actually Reveler me next turn if they have it, without needing a land or anything, right? So that's why I feel like I'm very incentivized to cling right here. So if that's the case, then yeah, I think I want to get a basic, and I cling just any of their spells, doesn't matter. So we trigger Prowess, we deal just a tiny bit more damage. It's not a good draw. Not the worst either. And now we drop Shadow number 2. End step, Bold Face. Alright, they have a plan. Here's Reveler. Nope. Cycle Sambik Canyon. That's not as good a plan. Unless they have actually lethal, which they might. We can actually cling, so I think that we are just going to attack and pass. And they need to chump if we attack like this. So we can leave this to block a potential Swift Sphere. And the 1 point of damage is not going to matter. We're going to have very, very lethal next turn. So we just pass here. Yeah, we can hold up cling to game 2 if we need to, which is out of double bolt range. If my opponent would have, they still have 2 cards in hand, so if they hadn't conceded there, I was just going to pass. I was just going to untap, and I was going to attack. Devin, in a scale from the best Shadow player in the world to the second best Shadow player in the world, where would you put me? Clearly, I am the best Shadow player in the world, right? But it's okay, you can be the second one. Right in the middle. I'm a tier 1.5. Tier 1.5 Shadow player. This deck is kind of busted. I like this deck a lot. This is the beautiful thing about Shadow decks. I always enjoy playing this deck so much because there's so much to talk about. Like there's so many things to consider. Literally every single freaking turn. Aren't I the best ball player in the world? I think that's a fact, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's just a hard fact. So I think this is a keep, right? But how we're going to play this hand is going to be very interesting. I think I'm interested in keeping. Best cat pact player in the world. Yeah, exactly. Oh. Well, now things are a little bit easier, right? Yeah, now that we know what they're on. We just got Thoughtseize here. Might just get milled a little bit. Of course, they have the Archive Trap, because they always have the Archive Trap. Double Archive Trap? No, just the one. Well, we have to take divisions, right? Because they can just cast it next turn and draw 3. So we just take the draw 3. Did you ever get to meet Mike Mangini? You know what, Manapot? I have the saddest story about Mike Mangini. So when I went to Berkeley, my goal was to take lessons with 4 guys: Mike Mangini, Dave DeCenso, Kenwood Denard, and Rod Morgenstein. Those were the 4 guys that I was... That's a really fucking good top deck for them. The good thing is that now we're gonna get to like Swift Spear into Thoughtseize, take their push, which is not bad. And I guess that whatever's on top of our deck doesn't matter, and it also doesn't matter whatever's on top of theirs. So let's do that. So I guess we actually have to worry about fetchables. I'm gonna continue with my story in a second. No white sources, but we have one more Blood Crypt. Well, good thing that we got it out of the deck before it got milled. Okay, so Swift Spear, Bubble, and Thoughtseize. Take their last card. And attack them. Alright, so they don't block, obviously. Now we're gonna let these triggers go. And now we bubble my opponent. Drawing another Hedron grab. I don't think I'm too upset about that. I mean, it means that a fetch is gonna be a problem, but besides that. So this doesn't have any more targets. So yeah, this is basically a blank. So I'm gonna swing, bolt one of these, and drop a Scourge. So anyway, I wanted to take lessons with all of those guys. Then I basically, the more that you are in the school, the more that they give you priority to choose your lessons. So in my early semesters, I wasn't given that many options. So I kind of had to wait. So semester number 4 or 5, I finally get to sign up for my lesson with Mike Mangini, which I had been waiting for 2 years at this point. And then 2 weeks before the semester starts, I get dropped from the lesson. And I am like, what is going on? Like, they dropped me from the lesson. And I go to the department, to the drum department head, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why would they drop me? And they're like, he's not going to be teaching this semester. I'm like, what the hell? How? Like, I was so excited about this lesson and whatever. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, they post this video about the Dream Theater and the auditions, and he's there, and I'm like, I think, I think that day just spoiled me who's gonna win. It was brutal, man. It was brutal. Okay, so back to this game of Magic that we're playing right here. I think I want a bow mat, and I want to play this and take 3. Yeah, terrible timing. Terrible timing. So this means the bow mat draws us a card, and we're also gonna get 1 more point of damage through. Now the question is, do we cycle here? I feel like we just untap. Is this a famous drummer? Yeah, he is. He's very, very good. He is very, very, very good. So I think we're gonna cycle here on unstep, because we might draw into a bolt. Thoughtseize triggers Prowess, puts my opponent on a 1. So any spell? Oh, sweet. Easy mode. K command seems okay here. And maybe these to answer Ensnare and Bridge, but I don't know how many we want. I enjoy that whenever opponent concedes, it makes the Scourge in 2020, yeah. Yeah, of course it blows up orb, which is pretty important. The problem is, like, all of my cards are straight fire, right? Maybe Bomat is kind of medium. So I imagine that Crypt Incursion is going to be my opponent's game plan here. You got Seal. Well, yeah, Seal doesn't kill Rune Crab, but neither do these cards. So, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do I want to bring in all of them? I'm definitely not excited about Seal of Fire. We 100% agree there. But how bad is the risk of flooding on this effect? Definitely want all my removal. Definitely want TBR. Thoughtseize also seems great. Unearth also seems pretty sick. 1 mana Scourge when they mill it. Poggers. Bomat seems kind of medium. I don't think I want to cut pushes, Devin, because they seem pretty important to get rid of the crabs. Like, the crab just blanks the Bomats. Think you have enough to kill crabs? I mean, we have this, we have these. That's it. We have 6 removal spells. How about this? This was the match where you was the most sure. Yeah. I don't think I want to cut pushes. Like, this means that we have 8 answers to crabs. Not counting Thoughtseizes, obviously. Why keep Cling? Because we can play around Surgical with Cling. Also, if you exile we can kind of play around Crypt Incursion a little bit, even though it's probably not great regardless. How do I feel about this? We get Answer to Crab. Double Answer to Crab. This is not particularly aggressive. And this is actually really bad against some of their hands. I think we keep though, right? If this were any fetch land, this would be an easy keep. But the fact that this is one of the basics is what's making me not be so sure about this keep. Maybe we can just mulligan, right? Let's just mulligan. This hand is kind of better, kind of worse. Somehow. This hand just managed to be kind of better and kind of worse at the same time. Let's keep it. And let's bottom. Probably one of these three. Let's do TBR. Play a -5/-5 shadow. Well, we can still bolt ourselves here, right? Not a bad draw, actually. Brutal. I love how also we drew this literally right as we see that my opponent is going to draw a field. Like the absolute worst fucking timing to draw that card. Definitely gonna ball that dude. Damn it. Guess we're gonna have to run this Scourge. At least they didn't have push instead, but they have that one. Did we keep that hand? Yeah, we did. And it's proving to be kind of awkward. Thoughtseize. That's a fucking sick draw. Let's go. Crypt Incursion. I knew it. Yeah, we definitely take this, right? We take this. They're super far away from these visions. Because we know they're drawing a snow-covered island. Yeah, let's do that. So, take the Incursion, play this, shock, shadow. Not the biggest shadows I've ever seen, but next turn we get to put Luros in hand. We can continue drawing cards. They drew a crab. That's pretty good for them. That's pretty good for them. There's gonna be a lot of crab triggers. Don't take my mountain. Don't take my mountain. Don't take my mountain. Don't do it. Opponent. Don't do it. Okay. Last card in hand, we know that it's an island. I guess we just do that just to grow the shadows. It's not getting any better, and this pushes through more damage. I mean, we still have 34 cards in our deck. Like, we're not particularly close to decking. Okay, now they top deck the best possible card. That Visions was exactly very good. That Visions was exactly very good. Okay, we knew about that one. Something that damages me. Bomat. Oh no! We cut the seals. Seals would be... I guess seals would force a chump. We just get bubble. Lurus plus bubble. We could Lurus plus Monastery Sphere too. Just to put more pressure. Okay. Do I want to mill? I think I want to mill myself. That's a drown that does not kill my shadows. So that's pretty good. So this is basically 1 mill. But my opponent would go to 2, so I guess that it is a point of damage, because they don't want to go to 2. We still have 29 cards. Seems reasonable to me. Instant bridge. Don't bridge me, bro. Snapcaster Mage? Snapcaster in your mill deck. Snapcaster Mage in your mill deck. That right there is some next level shit. Snapcaster in mill. Wow. Push my shadow. Any removal spell would be great. Gilipio 1, thank you for the follow. Yeah, that counts. We're getting surgical here. I'm just gonna let them know. I'm gonna let them know that they're dead. Surgical resolves. Yep. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. How you been sitting on this deck, Devin, all of this time, and it was just broken? Deck's been broken all along. You never told anybody. Who do you think you are keeping your secrets? Not sharing with the world. Deck is so good. It is kind of, it is kind of great. I'm not gonna lie. Scourge is busto. Yep. Still waiting for my 4th copy of Scourge in the mail. 3 of them have arrived. Did opponent have access to Snap Crypt Incursion? They only had 5 lands. I think that's what they were digging for when they drew 3. also that's an interesting thing, right? My opponent surgicaled my Scourges, but like they were in the process of exiling them, but you should actually just leave them in the yard for Crypt Incursion. It's actually correct to do that. So no threat. Yeah, we're definitely shipping this. Lot better. A lot better. We bottom the mountain. I do have Lurrus. Yeah, but if you don't have pressure, Lurrus is not gonna win you the game. And we're gonna fetch shock. And I'm definitely interested in like putting the Swiss Spear into play first. Thoughtseize in next turn once I know. No, I misclicked through my turn like an idiot. Of course I F6'd. Why wouldn't I F6 there? Whoops. Mistakes were made. Okay, we're playing against Burn. So this matchup is actually going to be very interesting. Like, our life total is going to be pretty tough to manage here. We're taking the Eidolon here, huh? Or can we leverage this Eidolon? I don't care about Blaze, because we can just protect both threats. So I think we're taking Eidolon. Because if they spend their... Actually, do we want them to spend their turn playing Eidolon? I think we just want them to play their turn playing Eidolon. So that means we take Searing Blaze. So we're going to go to 15, then to 15, then down to 12 for the Fetch Shock. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, this is really close, particularly because Rift Bolt is, oddly enough, the best card against the Shadow decks. Playing Shadow in the past, Rift Bolt is always the toughest card to beat. The reason for that is that it allows our opponent to use their mana, and then we can't punish them for dealing the damage. So it's super awkward. I think I'm gonna go with... Huh. How do we feel actually about taking the Rift Bolt? We're gonna drop a Shadow. They have no instant speed, so they cannot punish me. We go down to... The Shadow is gonna be a 1-1, then up to a 5-5. No, we actually have to take the Blaze because... No, the Blaze doesn't kill the Shadow. Because it deals damage to me as well. Yeah, I think we just take the Rift Bolt here. And we leave my opponent with a clunky hand of like all 2 CMC spells. Yeah. Man, that was a really tough one. So now we fetch Shock, play a Shadow. Very interesting turn. Very, very interesting turn. So now if they point the Rift Bolt at the Shadow, that's fine. We just Mutagenic Growth it. And they can't kill it this turn unless they drew exactly like a Bolt or something like that. But Bolt just makes their hand kind of awkward. I mean, it guarantees that the Shadows survive as far as known information goes. Let's see if my opponent knows how Searing Blaze works. No, they don't. Remember when I left Searing Blaze in my opponent's hand, chat? Remember when I left the Blaze in their hand? That's why. So we're gonna go down to... I guess we can't really fetch, huh? I think we have to leave Swift Spear to block. Because otherwise we die to Swift Spear plus one more 1-drop. So we swing there. We're gonna play a tapped Blood Crypt. Really awkward. And this is why this matchup is a lot harder to beat than the Prowess matchup. They have so many ways for punishing us for the Death Shadow. Would love to draw Scourge though. Like Scourge is so much better than a Shadow in this matchup because it doesn't force you to go this low. There's maybe an argument for taking 1 damage there. Is there though? Like we know they have Lava Spike. We're dead to Lightning Bolts, Rift Bolts, like anything off the top. Even another Seer Blaze would potentially kill us. This matchup is so much easier with Dixie Shadow. Yeah, obviously, because you have access to Starbound Denial. Bolt would be great. Okay. Okay, Goblin Donnie. Donnie, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold, Donnie. I think we're gonna swing with both here. It's been a minute, Donnie. Where you been? I missed you. Work to match. Ugh, feels bad, man. On the plus side, you have work. That's a good thing. Should I swing with the Swift Spear? It's crazy how little amount of turns this is, and how interesting each one of these turns has been. I'm definitely not attacking with both spears, so I think I want to attack with Shadow. If I attack with Shadow and Swift Spear, I don't think they have a Lightning Bolt. But if they drew something like Searing Blaze, we lose. Like, we actually just lose. I think I'm gonna be a coward and I'm just gonna attack with Shadow. How has this deck been? This is my first league with it, Donnie, and it's been kind of insane. Okay, so they jumped with the Shadow, so I'm gonna spend this turn to get Lurus in hand. And basically make a replay of last turn. They don't have the Bolt, sweet. And this also hides the information that we have a Swift Spear in hand. So if we have like a Bolt or something, we can just percent lethal in a single swing. Also, if my opponent plays Eidolon, we can use it to our advantage, though that would be pretty risky. They just drew the land and Boros Charm. I guess that we had lethal, but like my opponent, like they actually had a route to lethal damage. If they didn't make face Boros Charm for no reason. And it was actually like the best spell for them to have, because they could have played that on end step and then they untap and they Lava Spike me and I die. But the bubble was actually good enough for us to win, because we just play the Swifty and when we take bubble, so it would have forced my opponent to interact with one of my Swift Spears. Okay, burn. We kind of don't have anything for this matchup. Like literally nothing. Maybe Path is better than Dismember? Only thing I can think of. Paid actors. No, it's not a paid actor. I am just a Laxac. I am just a Laxac. No, K command is too slow. I'm not interested in this card. Bomat is interesting. The one thing I don't like about Bomat is how it literally cannot get through any of their creatures. It's probably better than the other options. Like, we don't really have that many options for this matchup, actually. What does Laxac mean? It's just being a Luxac. But it is spelled wrong on purpose, because that's the meme. Ponemos to 6. No Shadow, no Scourge, no Keep. Yes Shadow, yes Scourge, yes Keep. I think I'm gonna bottom this. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom the career. I don't think there's a way that my opponent can not take damage. They just skip their turn. I am very confused. Very confused. Definitely taking the Helix because Scourge is kind of my plan here. Paid actors confirmed. Was the plan all along. Well, of course. Of course I feel like an idiot now because I bottomed my Bomat, which would have been sick right here. How could I expect that my opponent would go turn 1 go? Director MTG, thank you for the follow. Let's do that, and I'm delaying what I'm gonna choose with this thing. Gobbo. Timur Battle Rage. I think I like to take this damage. Gonna skewer me. Okay. The critics have been scored. Now, do I want to bolt this? Or I want to bolt them? I kind of like bolting them, actually. Yep. So we're going to bolt them. And I'm going to go fetch a basic swamp. I'm going to play a Shadow on a Scourge. Both of them are going to be a 4-4 and a 5-5. But they can't. They don't have spectacle. There's a land. If the last card in hand is a bolt, we lose. But if it isn't, though. But if it isn't. It could be a path, I guess. Well, we can't take this damage. So I'm just gonna block with the shadow. Yeah, they don't really have good attacks. Okay. So we know their hand is 2 Screw the Critics, so that means that we have lethal. We have like super mega lethal. I guess they could have Path to Exile. So we lose to Path to Exile, but that's probably a fine thing to accept here. So we just accept death to Path to Exile. And that's exactly what they got. Of course. Of course. I should have TBR the other one, right? Because that actually kills the goblin guy. That was a mistake on my part, actually. That was a mistake on my part. No need to show them the other TBR. Here we're actually just dead. That was a mistake for me though. I should have double stricken on the Scourge. Because that forces the path from my opponent's hand. But if that's what happens, then I'm still forcing my opponent to top deck a burn spell or another creature, I guess. Because their Gobo is gonna be dead. Here, I'm dead to the Gobo plus the known information. But yeah, opponent had it. Brutal. Just gonna try to draw some cards here. Yeah, they had a bunch of outs, but it was still a mistake on my part, right? The fact that my opponent still has like a bunch of outs there doesn't stop the fact that it was still a mistake. Were they at 12? I think that's what Scourge would have hit for. No, they were at 16. They were at 16. They were at 12 after they took 4 from the Scourge. Maybe I should have shipped this, looking for a Shadow or a Scourge. Okay. Azui Vedi. It's pretty good. I think I'm not gonna attack with Swift Spear. I'm gonna use it to block. But of course I want to attack with Bowmat because I'm looking to draw some cards here. That Shadow was a good draw though. I could have double Mutagenic Growth or something and play the Shadow on that turn, but I don't think that's what I want to be doing. Gobbo. Tutu Shadow seems like nowhere we want to be. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would be okay with a 2/2 Shadow if I have Mutagenic Growth in hand, right? But so now that survives. You're gonna attack. If they attack, do I pump? I think I don't pump. We block probably the Swift Spear, but we don't pump. Yeah, that was a pretty good exchange for us. Because it also makes their attack super awkward, right? Okay. So now we get to attack pretty freely. Because we have 2 blockers. I guess I should have... No, this is fine. Yeah, I was gonna say if they block with one, they should block with both. And I think I'm still interested in killing the Swift Spear. But I think that now I don't think that they matter too much. Their creatures, I mean. Or the cards, I mean. So, Shadow, because we drew 2 Shadows, so we're 9 Shadows are 4/4. Would have definitely loved to have access to those 3 cards from the Bowmat, but I don't think there was... I guess that there was a way to make that work, huh? I could have, like, played this, and yeah, I think that might have been better. Just make 2/2 Shadows. The problem is if I do that... It's interesting. Ugh, Riftbolt's brutal. I think here we just hope for the best. If they have like End Step Bolt, Rift Bolt, and any burn spell, we die. Or I guess they could have like multiple skewers or like Lava Spike, whatever. There's multiple ways that we die here. If they path here on end step, they untap 3 +2 from creature +1. So I think I'd rather put Delirious in hand instead of playing the Monastery Swift Spear, because we can do that next turn regardless. So like this kind of hides our plan, I guess, a little bit better. I think that we might be dead, but there's not much else for us to do anyway. There was no way for us to play around all that stuff. How's the deck been so far? Very good. Really, really good. Okay, so we're just dead. These matchups did seem pretty rough. We did put my opponent in a really tough spot on the previous game. And they needed to top deck exactly Path to Exile, exactly on that turn. It was like the one unknown card, and it needed to be exactly Path to Exile, otherwise we just beat literally any other card that they could have had. But it turned out it was the Path, so we died a miserable death. This hand looks okay. Like, I'd rather have a Thoughtseize instead of the second Dismember, but it's still okay. And we have like removal. The exiled card is a Blood Crypt. That's really funny. Figured it out, Chad. Figured out that the exiled card was a Blood Crypt. Because we only had one left to fetch. Not sure what advantage Black Red or Mardu has over Grixis. Grixis is not good at enabling Scourge. We can kill an Ulamog. It's possible that I'm supposed to sack this now. Yeah, we can try to look for Thoughtseize. Oh, I didn't look. Whoops. Damn it. Ah. Punt. There were 4 in the deck. You had one job. Alright, streaming his stuff, folks. Streaming his stuff. I'm in a crack. There's a Blood Crypt for sure. But like I need to put like a bigger clock in play if I'm gonna win this game. It's not it. That's not it. Yeah, that's not it. We're gonna be particularly sad if if they like if this is a Thoughtmont Seer coming up or something. Oh, it's big Karn. Why is there so much? Why is there so much of this fucking deck right now? I think we still win with TBR. Is that correct? So that would be 4, 5 times 2 plus 1. No, we get them down to 1. Just gotta do this. So this is 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I guess we just have to luck sack into Tron, right? Into Bolt. It's not getting much better. Yeah, I don't think so. But now we have a line towards lethal, right? Which we wouldn't otherwise have. Believe in the hearts of the cards, Yugi, I know. Bai Hui, thank you for the follow. Expedition map. So they're gonna go get Blast Zone, I imagine. Late Karn ult or no balls. That sounds about right. We have to sack here because of otherwise they minus, so we have this turn to draw Lightning Bolt. Bolt off the top one time. Bolt off the top. Let's go. Let's go, baby. We still get some info, okay? So it's just stock Tron. Brutal. Womp womp. Wildfires. How do we cyber with this? Cling. I totally forgot how we cyber with this. We cut those. We cut these. Still had a chance. My opponent's restarting the game, so they go back to 20. I cannot win. So no, I did not have a chance. Opponent could have messed up. Is it really worth my time? Is it really worth my time? Kills Worm. I think I'm gonna go with maybe some of these actually. I think I like those better than Path. Starting game takes a lot of time, that's when you clock them out. I don't think I will ever win a game by timing out with this deck. This hand is, the mana is just too awkward, unfortunately. This hand is a lot better. Spot on the Blood Crypt. I kind of want. No, I actually don't want the land. Never mind. Blood Crypt, Courier. Let's go. Expedition map. I think I'd like to prioritize getting Godless Shrine here. Get Bowmat, Swift Spear, get some cards under the Courier. Let's go. Courier low-key best card in Kaladesh. Honestly, it's not that far off. I think I'm just gonna let the Bolt go here. But I think it's kind of important to find like a Thoughtseize / Shadow. Regretting having gotten the white source so early. Thoughtseize, Shadow. I lost this game because I fetched this, I think. Yeah, I should have gone a red source. I was thinking about prioritizing getting white because we have white cards in the deck and we don't have that many white sources, but like we definitely, this is experience really costing me here, basically. That's what this is. Gross. Now we would be able to play Swift Spear, we would be able to grow something. What is this? So I guess we can attack through this. I mean, we can trade with this. This is really bad. I really fucked up this game. Missing some damage, all because I fetched the Godless Shrine. Even if I had fetched, I should have fetched the Sacred Foundry even. Sacred Foundry would be so much better here. And considering that I knew that I had this, I should have thought about that I was going to need more red mana instead of black mana. So inexperience definitely costing me here. I think that we're just, I don't think we can win this game anymore. I think we cannot win this game anymore, so I'll just concede. Man, after a 3-0 very promising start, my inexperience with the Shadow pile ended up costing me. Feels bad. But it was cool though. I feel like we played some sweet matches. Some of them were super interesting. Particularly the burn one. Felt very, very close. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This deck is kind of impressive. We're gonna play another league with it, but if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next league. Take care, and bye-bye.